Hello and welcome. My name's Melody and this is episode 19 of the Melody Crochet podcast. I come to you from my home here in Texas to talk about yarn once a week and basically just share my yarny existence with everybody. It's not all yarn, but I like to think of my blog and the vlog as a lifestyle vlog with a hook. That's always been my catchphrase on the blog because I talk about everything. We'll call me just a professional oversharer. So, welcome. I hope you enjoy. If you do, please feel free to subscribe. I would very much appreciate it. And if you could like me over on Instagram, that would be awesome so I get a chance to see what you are making and what you are doing and just kind of basically stalk you in a friendly way. No harm, but you know. So, what is new, guys? Everybody doing well? Everybody get through the new year feeling good, get over the hangover. I see you guys. We had a good one. Really mellow, but it's cold. This has been, I can't even speak now. It is so cold. We have not been over freezing. I'm here in Texas. You know, the hot state. We have not been over freezing in 3 days. Like right now it's 25 degrees Fahrenheit. So cold. So cold. Thank goodness for knits and crochets and warmies. And this episode is basically hats. We're just going to call it hats because that's all I wanted to make since Christmas. I've worked on some other projects here and there, but for the most part I've just been hats. I think, yeah, all of my finished objects are hats because it's what I pick up. I'm loving it. And for a while I didn't make a whole lot of hats the last half of the last year. So I'm going to share my hats with you. Several of them are leaving. You can't keep all the hats to yourself. I mean, I only have one head. The boys only have two because 2 boys. My husband has one head. The dogs, they don't love hats, so I send them away. These are going to be mailed off literally today. That's why I'm recording early, because I wanted to get some pictures and talk about them before they're gone. And because I have a couple of other packages I'm sending out, so I'm probably going to be recording again before schedule again. I try to come to you guys once a week, but that is going to be increasing quite a bit if everything stays according to plan. I do want to be sharing a little bit more lifestyle-y, a little bit more where we go, the yarn stores, the interesting things aside just from what I've made, because this is a bit of a chronicle of my yarny life and I want to share a little bit more than my finished objects. So I'm very excited and I want to talk about, for right now, a lot about what I'm planning in the next week or so, what I've finished, and what I'm working on, which I don't have a whole lot of in progress. Like I said, I've been making hats. They go quick. They go quick. They go quick. And let's see here. My first one is from Red Heart Super Saver. It is inspired by Twinkie Chan, and it makes me very happy, even though from the outside it might look quite a bit juvenile. I am quite a bit juvenile. I am at heart a total nerd, and people just tend to accept it from me. It's okay. I'll be all right. But I saw Twinkie Chan's Cactus Hat on Christmas and I needed one. So I got to work. This is Red Heart Super Saver in spring green and I want to say lipstick, but it's not. That's the hot pink. The yellow is actually some Hobby Lobby yarn. I have it over there. It's their non-pill acrylic. I really think that's what they call it. Low pill acrylic. That's the name of it. And I think it was too soft for its purpose here. I think the spines could have used some more body because they look so cute on Twinkie Chan's hat. She had sold a huge exhibit of amazing cactus inspired items that just, they grabbed me and I needed one. But this was a J hook. This was a G hook, so I could get that tighter gauge. I put a little stuffing in there with some polyfill before I closed it up. Everything's through the back loop. This is single crochet through the back loop, and this is double crochet through the back loop. You're actually looking at the spine of it right there where I sewed it together. We'll aim toward the front for now. And I love it. I could not be more happy with this hat because, can we talk about the cold? I'm sure you've heard everybody on earth complain about the cold. I'm just going to complain about it for a moment. It I'm here in Texas. It has not been above freezing for 3 days. 3 days. Below 32 degrees Fahrenheit. Right now it's 25. It's gorgeous. I'm right by a window right now. It's beautiful. So cold it hurts. I went out to the garage. My garage floor hurt my foot. It just... I'm not going to complain anymore. But let's just say these hats serve a purpose. It is freezing out there. And all of the details about the cactus hat that I made are going to be on the blog, MelodyCrochet.com. And I love it. I really, really do. And I'll probably try and video making one, because some people have questions about in the back loops and how you work it. Most people, I know, you guys get it, but some people do, so I'm happy to help. I figure it's a lot easier to explain that in video than it would be in the blog or with words, so we'll do that. But I love this hat. It makes me so happy. Okay, I'm gonna put it down now. Now, my next hat is Pokemon inspired. I don't think I've talked about it much. My thing, I have a sesame seed in my teeth. I need tea. I love avocado toast, and I put sesame seeds on it. It's kind of like my meal where I get my good fats. So I throw sesame seeds on them because they also have a lot of really healthy fat in them. And I toast them myself. I get them at the store and I toast them and I stack and I store them away. But I swear I find those sesame seeds in my mouth forever afterward. It's weird. They hide. So today I'm having Tazo. This is their Zen. It's the green tea with lemongrass and I think peppermint. There's definitely some mint in there, but it's green tea with lemongrass and mint. It's so good, and it's got a good little zing of caffeine, because I do try to stop having coffee at noon now in hopes of sleeping, because when it's cold like this I don't get my activity as much. Sleep is just not even a thing for my body. My body could care less. I just want to stay up all night long playing with yarn. Speaking of yarn, hat number 2, finished object number 2 is knock towel. Now, since I've started crocheting, I've done hats. My first hats were hats with names in them, and I made everybody a hat with a name in it. Oh my gosh, so many. And I did one for a group where I did the whole group's hats with names, and I'm just kind of like the stitch, you know, you'd pick up the different color and write out the letters, and I was so new that they were completely I don't know if you guys have made these, but the letters were completely slanted because that's how crochet stitches work. They're slanted. But I made a ton of them, and then I went on to character hats, and I have been a character hat person forever. I have, you name it, I have made them. But my girlfriend online, her last name in game is Noctowl, who's a Pokemon if you don't know. And this is what his face looks like. He's very serious. And I made this for her. It's going bye-bye today to New York to keep her warm, I hope, because it is super chilly there. It's even colder than it is here. So hoping that this will keep her warm. Look at his little nose. It's all Red Heart Super Saver, and I worked him up in a couple hours. He's just fabulous though. I think this is the latte color. This is the chocolate, or I think this is coffee, and this is latte. And this is the Aran color, I believe. This is red. I believe the red was actually another brand. Nope, I went back. I tried another brand, but it just disappeared because Karen Simply Soft against Red Heart Super Saver just is so slinky that the stitches disappear. So my go-to for character hats is always Red Heart Super Saver because it washes up, it dries up, and it looks good for a long time. I've done Lion Brand Vanna. I've done Karen pound of yarn. That works out really big. It's just a really big hat. I'd have to recalculate all of my numbers. I always use an I hook for almost everything. For the details, sometimes I'll go down to a G, but really, really happy with how he turned out, considering it was I just winged the whole thing. I winged an owl. Cheesy, I know, but I love it. It's so cute. So I'm excited to get that sent off to her, and I hope she loves it. My next finished object is for another friend, and he needs a warmie too. It's nice and big. Let me open my phone because this is the Wanderlust hat, but I don't want to forget the person who wrote its name. Wanderlust is by Kirsten Halloway, and I want to not show you guys the seam in the back. This was very interesting. Let's see if I can get that. See the texture? I'm wondering if I should brighten up. I have a feeling you guys can see it pretty well. I'm going to brighten it. Oh, there it is. Check out the texture on that guy. This is in just some plain old acrylic because I don't want to send it with special notes of how he should take care of it or anything. So I love this yarn in black, and it worked up. I made this morning when I was having coffee. It took no time at all. It was on an I hook. I believe I used the one my friend made me here, and it's fabulous. I want one for myself. I would probably go down a size in the hook because I wouldn't want to decrease the number of stitches because I like the detail. And there's a whole lot. Every row is different than the row before it, which is just fabulous. It's so fun. And it increased to about 72 stitches. It is a free pattern if you go to her website from the link on the pattern page. It is available on Ravelry, the Wanderlust beanie, and you can buy it for $2 if you want the PDF, or you could take the link to her website if you don't mind working from that. I always work from my iPad, so I just worked from her website, but I do love a free pattern. Oh, there's the seam in back. The reason I mention it is it had a very interesting construction in that even though there is half double crochets and double crochets and back loops only and all sorts of stuff, and she worked in the third loop on her half double crochets, which I don't know if I've talked to you guys about. I am an addict for that. I love working in the third loop on my half double crochets. I cannot stand the look of a half double crochet worked consecutively if they work through the top of it. It hurts my eyes. I don't know why. But if you work in the back leg, I guess that would be the back leg and the stitch behind, it just works up so beautifully. I don't know why everybody wouldn't. Because that's where that happens. Let's see if we can make it happen. Right there, where you get that little line. I think it's just lovely. Right in that row down there. You see that line right there because you're working in the back line only, as opposed to working in the top of a half double, which just stands out so much because it's such a puffy stitch. So I am a bit of an addict for that. And the reason I have such a visible seam is because even though she has all these different stitches, there is single crochet, there's half double crochets, there's double crochets, and for each of them at the beginning of the row, she only chained one time. So usually you chain a couple times for a half double crochet, 2 or 3, and just to get the height, and no, not at all. So it was all chain one, and I made sure, and it was consecutive through the whole pattern. So I went ahead and did that, and it made a bit of a seam, but it's not bad. I mean, I could definitely see a seam, but I think he's not gonna mind. And I like it very much, and I definitely want one for myself. I'm thinking light blue, maybe burgundy. It worked up so quickly. I think everybody needs 5 of them. I don't know what it is about me. When I like a pattern, I'm just like, 7 more now. I was listening to a book on an audiobook from Loyalty. It's off of Apple. I don't know if they have it on Android, but it's called Loyalty, and they just have all of the audiobooks available, just a ton of them, the classics and such. And I was listening to, for the last week, I've been listening to A Princess of Mars, and it was really good, and I just found out that there are more of them. And it was written a long time ago. I want to say about 1918. It was very good, and the narrator was very good, and it kept me intrigued. It wasn't crazy by any means. It was just really nice to listen to while crocheting and before bedtime and when I was winding down with tea. It was mellow, so it was nice. So this is my Wanderlust beanie, which is going to its new home today also, and he's a guy with a pretty average size head. I think we're in good shape. I'm gonna have the best hair by the time we're done here. I don't care. My hair never does what it's told to. It gets what it gets. Woo! So, love it. I want 5 more. And I love this yarn. I know acrylic gets a funny name, but it's the best for gifting because he can hand wash, he can dryer, he can machine wash, whatever he wants. And this is gonna live and stay true its color black and just be fabulous. I have another one. I think I already shared this a while ago, but it's going with the package too. This is my red hat. It's my Graham hat from, ooh, I have it, Jennifer Adams. And I made it nice and big. There's my seam in back. I always like to show that off. And he loves bright red. And I'm told he has a relatively large head. So this should totally fit him though. And I'm just told he loves bright red. As you can see, I look fabulous in bright red. But I used Encore, which is 80-20 wool acrylic wool, 80% acrylic, 20% wool. So it'll keep him warm, but it's still going to be machine washable and won't come out funny. So there's that Graham hat. Free pattern on Ravelry. I've made about 4 of them and I love that texture. It's really cool because you make it inside out, so it looks like that while you're making it, and then at the end they say flip it and like, oh, and every time it's like a whole new time, you know what I mean? It's fabulous. So here he goes, he's on his way. And yeah, I have another one. I got him a little outfit for Valentine's Day over at Old Navy. Isn't that cute? It's got little pants. I went for the size 12 months. He's 6 months, but I remember my boys always needed to go up in size around that age because boys get so big. And then they peter off in at 18 months, they peter off to where they're going to be for their toddler years. But I wanted to make something to match because I always like to send something handmade when I send something bought. So I figured this looks nice, right? Isn't that pretty? It's hard to tell. No, not so much. It's light blue. It's like a light cloud blue. And I just crocheted a little heart. I just winged this. I did a double crochet beanie because babies' heads get warm and I didn't want him to get too sweaty because I know that they're not going to leave the baby outside in the cold, so it's mostly going to be indoors, right? And I figured the little heart for Valentine's Day, and I used an eye hook for the hat, and I love this yarn from Hobby Lobby for both. The light blue is Arctic Ice, and the darker blue is Dark Country Blue, which just matched the outfit perfectly. I had to get it. And I figure if I'm covering his head and we're covering arms and legs, we need to cover toes too. So I'm doing some little booties to match. I'm not going to do anything with these because I want them to be able to wear these even when they're not Valentine's Day. So I just made some little booties. I always do a little lip on the back of booties. It helps them stay on. So I do a little decrease. It's pretty extreme when they're not on them, but when they are on them, you can't see that lip and they just stay on. I used to, for my boys, I sewed their own shoes, and that was elastic in the back and it clung in great. And then when I started making booties, I said to myself, how can I replicate that? And I just do a really strong decrease. I'll go ahead and share my pattern. But what is coming out of that beanie? Ooh. That beanie, that booty. So this one is done, but this is my first whip because the second one is not. So I'm making it 12-month size. 12 months for a baby booty. It's usually 13 centimeters. I work in centimeters for baby stuff because inches are just too big. I'd be like 1/4, 5/8. Who needs to do that? So I've made the sole. That's the inside. I work over my stitches always, right? And then I've started my first row straight up from the sole. That's inside out. I always mark the front center with a piece of yarn, of course, as one does. And now I'm just working around, and then I'll do my decreases. So that'll be done really quick, and hopefully in the mail tomorrow, I'm thinking. But I just love sending a little handmade gift with when you send something purchased, you know? So hopefully they will get some use out of that. And at the bottom of the hat, I did do a little reverse single crochet, which I love to do at the bottom of beanies. I just think it adds a little something special as opposed to doing a single crochet or a slip stitch or anything like that. So there's that little Valentine's Day set. And since we're on works in progress, right? I'm gonna dip into the sewing this episode too, because it is directly connected. I'm making bags. I can't really call it sewing. So far, it's just fabric accumulation and cutting. I haven't gotten out the evil machine yet, but I will, and it's gonna be awesome. The evil machine will love me today. It's gonna happen today. I'm just gonna, like a band-aid, you just get it done, right? So my husband is changing uniform colors. Nothing dramatic. It's just they're going from blue to black. Blue to gray, I think. I thought they showed up. They actually haven't. He's supposed to start wearing them pretty quick. So since we have, I'm not exaggerating, he probably has 30 pairs of these pants. I took one of them and I'm making a project bag out of them because I love it. It's got this cool cargo. I took the cargo pocket, so it's already got a pocket. Super strong material. I'm gonna use it to hold my my stick pins that I've collected. And right now, so I cut right here, and I'm gonna sew right there for a drawstring. These are gonna be drawstring with like a little rope for a tug. And at the bottom, made a piece that measures perfectly in there, and I'm just gonna make it a square bottom. I don't know if that'll work out perfectly because sewing wise that's going to be interesting, but I do have some clips. I think I can keep it in place. The only concern really is gonna, or I could just overpin, I suppose, just like crazy, because this is not square and this is a rectangle, and we're gonna have to maneuver it a little bit, boss the machine around. But I'm really excited just because, you know, I'm sentimental, and he's been wearing these uniforms for about 6 years. Not the same ones. They give him new ones all the time. That's why he has like 30 pairs of pants. But, aw, I'm gonna miss those blue uniforms. But I'm sure the gray ones are gonna be awesome, and it's gonna be so nice to make him hats and stuff that don't have to match blue. Because with gray, I can use all the colors. So he'll get some green hats and maybe some burgundy. It's gonna be really nice. So, got that. And my next in progress is fabulous. Okay, I should probably share more information, but it is. It's fabulous. Zines and Roger, Rosina, hopefully you have seen her podcast. If you haven't, where have you been? She is amazing. And she writes the most beautiful patterns. It's so inspiring and intimidating. But I will say, her Holy Smokes is probably my favorite yet. Would you look at that? This is the cane stitch. And after figuring it out from her writing, because I was a little slow to figure it out, after figuring it out, she made a video for people in the future who are doing it. So do not be intimidated. If I can figure it out from her brilliant writing and she has a video, you got this. So this is Madeline Tosh Merino Light. They're single ply in Fathom. And this is Hedgehog Fibers sock in Medusa. I love it very much, but we have an issue. I finished this. Probably got this far done right after we last podcast together. So the problem is I don't know what's next, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to dye it. I'm thinking some pretty emerald green, but I don't have that. But I do have a bunch of undyed yarn, so that's easy enough to dye. But I just want to make sure it comes out really, really, really deep because I want a dark green. I don't want anything too light because it will take away from the pretty blue. So some nice emerald, not solid, like a tonal emerald green, maybe even with some blue in it to deepen it even more. We'll see what we come up with, shall we? So there will be dyeing this week. Sounds terrible. My boys always laugh when people on the podcast talk about dyeing. Oh, I'm planning on dyeing this week. You know, my boys just crack up. Okay, so this is my Holy Smokes, which I really, really, really would like to finish at least the next color on this week. I just have to make it. Wish me luck, because it's fabulous. Not that I can wear anything this lacy and wonderful yet, so I guess there's no rush, but I want to see it done because it's cold outside. Did I mention? Is that number 2? Ding! My go-to is gonna be my bags that have holes in them. I have these, which are great. If I'm looking for a store-bought, I think as opposed to buying this one, I'm gonna opt for this one, which Michael sells right by it. I think, I almost want to say Joann's does too, but I know Michael's. I was there yesterday, I saw them. I think they might have them at Hobby Lobby, but these are fabulous. They keep your yarn clean because it's like a net mesh. You could see right through it. They're strong as heck, and they have a hole in the top that you can feed your yarn out through. And I think these might be my go-to, unless I put a hole in bags, because putting a grommet in a bag is the easiest thing in the world. You just jab a hole where you want it. You get the grommet. It comes with a gun, like a squeezy gun, and you put a grommet in there, or you get the nail kind or the hammer kind where you put the grommet there, you put this plastic thing on top of it, and you hit it with a mallet a couple times. It literally takes no time at all, and it's like the easiest thing ever. So either I could put a grommet in my own bags or use these, which are fabulous too. I think I would opt for that over a yarn bowl, just because I crochet everywhere. Do you guys have just one place where you crochet? A lot of people have a chair. Let me know. Do you guys have the same place and you crochet the same place all the time, or knit the same place? Because I am all over, like literally all over the house. I see people with their beautiful craft areas and I'm like, everywhere. I craft everywhere. If I could show you this room, I have conveniently and artistically placed things all over. Living room too. If you look under things, you'll see boxes and you open them up and it'll be like painting supplies. My next whip would be my Happy Scrappy Squares blanket. This is by Sandra Paul over at Cherry Heart Crochet. And she has Cherry Heart blog if you're interested. Also a fabulous podcast. I watch her whatever she posts. I adore her. I have some new squares. It brings it up to, I want to say, 103, and it's rather large now. I would say we are at full blanket status. I can definitely cuddle up under it. I don't know how much bigger I'll make it. Probably another 20 squares. So that's not a lot. That's maybe like a couple weeks worth of doing one square a night. I'm really proud of myself for sticking with this, and I'm really, really enjoying it, and I can't wait to finish. I think that I'm going to sew a little something on the back. I'm not sure. We will, only time will tell. But I really love it so far. As far as new squares, all of the top row here are new. I love that. Isn't that amazing? It didn't come with a name, but it's fabulous. This is Gotham. This was dyed by Ash, Original Knitter on Instagram. It's beautiful. And I love that. Isn't that speckle fabulous? And then there's this. Beautiful. These were all gifted. This one was already there. This one I dyed. That's my Texas Thanksgiving. This is something that I was gifted, but I also have a ball of it myself, and it's gonna be Izzy, my little one's wrap up when he's cold. I'm just gonna make kind of like a shawl basically, but he wants it to be a really specific shape, so we're gonna work on that. And this is new. Isn't that pretty? So is this. This one is Lolo Did It, Hippo for Mother's Day, which gorgeous. She also sent me hippo for, I want to say Mardi Gras. I'll have to double check. Oh no, the sugar skull one. But she sent me, this is hippo for Independence Day. Love it. Isn't that amazing? And a couple others, but basically I do believe she started me on an addiction. I'm gonna need some hippos. It's adorable. Might need to make the hippo that Lolo Did It has. She made a little hippo pattern so you could celebrate her hippos, which is amazing. But there's also that, which is gorgeous. Look at all those colors. I love those greens. And that was new. And I love this. That just screams me. That green and that purple and the pinks. I dyed this. This was my Christmas color last year. Not this Christmas, but the Christmas before. This was, I called it Christmas cake on Etsy, but it's supposed to be Krampus, the scary monster that attacks children who are bad, because he's brown and he's got his Christmas colors and he's ferocious. I love it. So, but we call it Christmas cake on Etsy. We keep it, you know, a little bit more mellow. Love these. These are all new, and all in all, that one's old. That's been there for a while. So I'm really pleased. I see an end in sight, and then I'm gonna move on to making a granny stripe out of my sock yarn. So that's gonna be really cool. I'm very excited. But there's a couple colors that I had to put in here that I'm really excited about. Like this yellow is adorable. I have it out here and I rolled it up because I used it in my Harry Potter socks, the ornament socks that I made, and I used it in my ornament sweater, which was fabulous. I was gifted this. Look how gorgeous this is. Look at it. I'm just showing off my minis now. I'm like, oh, because I rolled them up and they look so different out of their little skein. But I have these, which I was just gifted and received. They are amazing. So that is going to be fabulous. Hopefully I'll get to rolling these up tonight, but the end is in sight. I think it could really happen. Oh, here's that sugar skull. So hippo for Dia de los Muertos. Look at that. Look at those colors. Oh my gosh. It makes me want to dye yarn. And somebody sent me a piece of, it looks like it came from a, what do you call it? The pre-knitted skeins or the sock blank. Isn't that cool? Look at that glitter. I have a hard time because you can't tell, but I do have a pattern here. I'm told that it makes your eye a lot more relaxed if there is a pattern of light and dark. So my blanket is actually, even though it's all the colors, you can see that it is striping. There's lights and darks and medium. So it goes light, medium, dark, and it goes diagonally. So dark, medium, light, dark, medium, lighter. Not super light, but I couldn't call it a medium. It's not coming out as bright as it is, but this is neon peach and it is bright. So I just put it with my lights. So all of my lights are in diagonal, all of my mediums are in diagonal, all of my darks are diagonal, and it really adds just a little bit of rhythm to something that is just crazy, right? It's crazy. It makes me so happy. I love crazy happy patchwork, and this is just the crochet equivalent of crazy happy patchwork. And I couldn't be more pleased. And it is so warm. You wouldn't think sock weight yarn would be this warm, but it is. I did get it a present. Where's that hook? Bought it a new hook because because I kept losing my D hook. Ooh, this is pretty. That's gonna look pretty too. Ooh, okay. Oh, she's still in a bag. This is my favorite kind of hook. I love my clovers and everything, but when I'm just buying a hook, I'm a boy girl. A boy girl. Not a Bates person, but I love boy. So I got her a new D hook. So hopefully I will not lose this, because I do this in bed with my tea before I go to sleep by a really low light, just to mellow out, because like I said, I'm trying to sleep more. And this is getting me to actually go to bed and look forward to sleep, and that's fabulous. So hopefully, oh man, ooh, that's gonna be awesome. But the struggle is sometimes I'm finding less darks, more lights. I might have to lose my pattern to finish this. So check out that dark one though. People are so creative. Sock yarn dyers are so creative. It's amazing. Got some dark, got some light. Basically have these left. And I just received these. And I have these left. I'm spoiled. And I love it. Thank you to all of my wonderful friends that spoil me crazy. So putting everything back inside the bag to go back to my bed. Now let's go through what's next, shall we? So first and foremost, everybody's making a doodler with Christy Glass and her daughter. It's their Sunday project. I don't think I could start anything Stephen West and just work on it one day a week. That's just not gonna happen. When I start a Stephen West pattern, I jump in 2 feet and just delve, and I don't come out until it's done, because he has the most fun patterns, the most addictive, potato chippy, amazing patterns on the planet. I am first a crocheter, and then in addition to crochet, I like to knit some socks. I'm really slow. And Stephen West shawls. That's pretty much why I knit. It's why I learned to knit, I'm pretty sure. Well, yeah. The Boneyard shawl, it's super simple. It's like the most simple shawl in the world, but I fell in love. The Daybreak shawl, same thing. Love that shawl. And the wilder ones, where's my one? I'm living in this shawl. This wasn't planned, but this is what I'm living in right now. My Marled Magic shawl is probably my favorite knit that I've ever made so far. And I'm living in this shawl. I won't, because it's so cold. I'm going out in it all the time. I have a little Angora fuzzy right there. She's magical. I've shared this with you guys when I finished it, but it's just crazy and I love it. So everybody's making a doodler. My plan was to make a faded, oh, it'll come to me, or I'll put it on the bottom of the screen. But my plan was to make a faded version of another shawl that he's making. But if everybody's making a doodler, I want to make one too. So these are my doodlers. This was going to be my Wonder Woman, and I could just never bring myself to start it. I'm going to need to make Wonder Woman in kind of a generic colorway, the yellow and the red. Not that they're generic by any means. It's a Wonder Woman shawl. You can't really be generic about that. It's awesome. But I don't think I could do it in colors that aren't yellow and, or at least blue and yellow, but the W is going to need to be gold. I tried to start, I just can't get myself to do it. The W is just going to need to be gold. So I have this, and this is super ridgy sock. This is like most people's like power socky base. It's super soft. This is Lazy Cat yarns, these two, and they are amazing. Look at that speckle. It is all things a yarn should be. And then she made this, which matches it beautifully. It even has some pink in there that doesn't match it, and I think that makes it better. It has the purple here in there, and it also has some hotter pink and like some neon. It's gorgeous. I can't wait to use it. And I needed a third color, so I am me, so it has to be black. I dyed this myself. I just wanted a nice, really deep tonal, really tonal. There's some parts that are almost white in there. And I just love the way that knits up. just the different tonal, it just looks like asphalt. It's so cool. So I think that is going to be amazing as my doodler. So I was supposed to start it this weekend and I did not, because I realized these packages that I'm mailing off need to be mailed off. I didn't send a lot of Christmas presents. There was a lot of packages I should have sent that I did not, because the test knit. I'm not going to say any more about it. I've chewed your guys' ear off about that test knit, but basically Christmas was put on hold. So a lot of stuff just did not happen. But Valentine's Day is coming. We're going to dip right in from my doodler, which is going to be started this week, straight in to Valentine's month. You would think it's not February, but if you do Valentine's Day starting on February 1st, you don't get a full month of it. You only get 2 weeks. So no way, Jose. I want the full month. So we're starting now because it is less than a month away now. So I got some fabric to make some friends some bags, and I have to share it with you before I destroy it with the evil machine, right? It's my opinion. This is the before. So first off, this is my gifting bag fabric. Star Wars. Amazing. I saw it. I had to have it. How awesome is that? So that is my bags, and my complimentary fabric is chocolate hearts. And I got a bunch of red zippers, and I got 12-inch because I think that's more than enough. I'm not going to make them more than 12 inches wide. So that is what I'm getting to work on tonight after I finish that baby booty. And then I'm also probably going to do my own bag with some conversation hearts. And I got a ton of it because it's also going to be a skirt. This fabric, I saw it across the room in Joann's and I said to myself, that's my skirt. Most people don't think that way, right? Okay. But I did. It makes me so happy, and I don't have a Valentine's Day project bag. So now I will have at least 2 of them. Rosina is doing a granny crochet along. There's no name yet, unless I missed it. There's no actual like hashtag yet, but I'll share when I know. And I am ready. My first project is completely planned. I'm not saying what it is yet. It's gonna be kind of a yay, look what I'm making. It starts February 1st. It goes through, I want to say March 15. I could not be more thrilled. So, but I will say my first project will be all grayscale, so black, white, and all the grays in between, and all the purples. So if you look in here, it's a ton of worsted weight acrylic, some Aran weight, ton of black, there's some white, some lavender, and this is my color scheme. There's a deeper gray I like very much, and it's just waiting here in its basket with an eye hook and a pair of scissors, because you need a pair of scissors for, see my little Valentine bag somebody made for me. It has the macaroons and jeton. I'm ready. Nothing dangerous, guys. I won't hurt myself. I have one more whip to share. This is my One Skein Wonder. It's on a J hook. Love. Isn't that pretty? I love that aqua color on the J hook. Oh my gosh. And my one skein is, it looks like 2, it's 1. I have this just in case because this wasn't a full skein. It's leftovers from my sweater that I made last year. And this is Dream in Color Smushy with Cashmere and Carousel. Pretty, pretty colors. And I'm making the, oh gracious. Part of me wanted to say festival shawl. I have the word festival in my name because of Carousel. It's from Moogly. Fortune's Shawlette. Good morning. And there she is. She's not working up fast. She didn't get a bunch of attention because we had the whole hat thing going on, but this is super easy. This is a simple free pattern on Ravelry, and it works up beautifully. Look at how pretty all those colors work up. If you have a really colorful ball of yarn, I highly recommend this, because in crochet, I was saying before, crochet, the closed stitches, just being a knot by nature, eats a little bit of the color, and sometimes you can find some that won't have any color at all. But look how this is going to open up. Isn't that amazing? It's so easy. It's basically a corner to corner pattern with a little something extra. You'll have it memorized by row 3, and it just keeps on growing. It starts in the corner and you just get wider and wider. I'm going to keep on going. I'm going to break the rules probably. Maybe I'll enter it in the contest and then I'll break the rules, because I think it needs a border. I'm just thinking maybe, I don't know, it's gonna pop against that green, isn't it? I don't know. I was just thinking maybe it needed a border of color. Just a little something special. I'll ask for special permission. Because it is a one skein wonder cowl, but it might just need a little something. It has a border in the pattern, but I just mean a different color border. Maybe? I don't know. But this is going to be 400 grams total, which is a skein of yarn, and it's so soft. I can't wait to wear it. So I need to hurry. This one I actually could be abusing right now because it looks really slinky, but that cashmere with the wool makes it warm. So that's going to be really nice to have. And I want to wear it before it gets too hot. Just putting that out there. It's going to be hot soon, right? And she is living in my beautiful My Creative Garage bag from Vanessa. Also has a podcast, and she's amazing. If you get a chance, go visit her at My Creative Garage. She sells bags, and this is the best made bag. You would not believe it. It's fabulous. So looky. Okay. I would like to have this finished this week. So that is a fabulous project for on the go, though. It lives in my purse because I don't have to look at a pattern anymore, and it's really, this can actually go in my purse really easily. Like, it goes small, and I have a mom bag. So that is it from me as far as projects that I have made. Whew. We got through it, guys. We did it. See why I had to come to you early? I was pretty much busting at the seams. I want to go through some things that I collected, and then I will let you guys go. If you need to go now, I understand. I'm just going to go through my procurement, or what I like to call, what have I done? Okay, first off, stickers, because as you all know, I like to use my bullet journal to plan my yarn projects and life in general, because it is the most flexible way of doing it. I got my Moleskine to start the new year. I procrastinated because I didn't set it up. Then I used about 20 pages to set it up. I was logging, well, I was going to log my yoga, my fitness, my yarn projects, my mood, my vitamins, my minerals, my girly schedules. I wrote it all out, and then I didn't touch that book because it was intimidating. It's like, oh my gosh, that book is work. I can't do that. I just can't do that at all. I don't know what possessed me to think that I'm going to use trackers. I'm not. Basically, what I do is I plan my week on one page, and then after that, I use it as just a list and a check off. Totally bullet journal style. All these trackers and all that stuff, that is so not me. I can't do that. It's intimidating. I look at that book from across the room or in my purse, and I'm just like, there's another thing I haven't done. I have not tracked my whatever for the last 3 days. I'm like, ugh, that's not what it's about, guys. So no more cute stickers day to day, cracking open that book. I'm just gonna put a little bit of washi tape over those pages and pretend they never happened. Part of me thought, oh, I should cut those out. But no, they are part of the process. That's something to look back on and say, oh wow, I made that and I never used it. So hopefully I will not do that again, because it doesn't work for me. That's just not how this brain works. I go, go, go. Get it done. But I love these stickers. I got them at Michael's yesterday. Aren't they adorable? Great for Valentine's. I will try not to use them until Valentine's Day. Maybe I'll go and see if they have some for the last 2 weeks of January, because this is hard. That's adorable. I have lots of other stickers though, so shouldn't have to. I'm making progress keepers, and I have like the big set of plastic tools that you usually see at the craft store, but I went ahead and invested with my coupon, of course, in these. I think it was $7 with my 40% coupon, and they're a lot smaller tools, and I think it's going to be way better because I make stitch markers and progress keepers, so they're really tiny. I think this is going to be awesome. I got a little turquoise to go with it. I didn't have turquoise, and I'm going to try a couple more progress keepers, so I'm going to schedule in a night to work on just that. And for my books and such, for my yarn art that I've been making lately, I've been doing a lot of yarn art and sending a lot of cards to people with yarn balls and such on them, and I had a silver Sharpie that was working really well, but I got this instead. So I was trying it out and testing it, and it's fabulous. So I'm excited. I got a pen. I know. Got a pen. My friend sent me a gorgeous, gorgeous gift. Ravenclaw. That's my house. Right? Had a little mishap with the mail. It was kind of kidnapped by the post office, but I called up and I got it. So it's late for the tree, and it's late for being packed up. All of our Christmas is all fully attic now, which means this guy gets to live somewhere in the house all year long, and I'm better with that, I think. It would have gone in the Christmas stuff and would have been put away, but I think I'm kind of happy he's here. I think he needs to get a little yarn through the top of him and live somewhere, because he's awesome. She did a great job. I love that. Oh, it's not glass. That's even better. It has a chance of surviving till next Christmas. One other thing, this was a present I got myself, and all the sock knitters were showing their 32 individual compartment sterilite thingies I got on Amazon. It said $50. I'm sure that's a supply and a demand thing. You know how they always have that hideously priced item on Amazon because all the regular priced items have left? But it said $50. I didn't even check what they wanted for shipping, but because it's kind of big. But I found mine. Walmart, $7. So it's huge. It doesn't look huge by me right now. This thing is huge. And I am gonna fill it up with knitted and crochet socks this year. Filling this up. I said crocheted. I don't love crocheted socks, but I want to crochet socks, if that makes any sense. And I can't give them to the boys. They'll just be destroyed. I mean, could you imagine boys running around in crocheted socks? That's not going to work out. So they're going to have to be for me. And these are my socks so far. As you can tell, even though I make a lot of socks, I have approximately 4 pairs in there. It's really cool. I'll put the dividers in now. But it came with all these dividers, so you can make 32 compartments. They're really well taped in there. I wanted to keep them taped in there for the podcast because otherwise they're gonna be everywhere. But yeah, check that out. Isn't that awesome? So that was my splurge on me, and I'm really excited. My husband, I just threw it in the cart. He's probably like, what on earth is that for? Other people are using it for ornaments, and I'm like, no, socks, duh. So that's it for me, guys. I hope that you are doing well. I hope that you enjoyed and that you got through this with me. I'm so glad I got to check in, see how you guys are doing. Please feel free to leave me a comment below. I'd love to know what you're making. Everybody let me know what they were working on, what their goals were for New Year's last week. And now I want to hear if you're going to be working on last year's whips. Do you have a bunch of whips from last year? I have a bunch of whips. I think next week you and I might be going through my whips and doing another clear out if anything needs to be frogged, because I think it does. So we'll go through my box. I have a box over there. It's a crate of in progress that hasn't been touched for a while. So that's probably it. Do you have a bunch of whips? I would love to see here. Like I said, below is my social media links, and please subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Please share me if you enjoyed, and thank you so much for stopping by. I will see you next time. Bye.